The day you enter law enforcement, you change. You become a completely different individual from that day on. You're not dealing with good, moral, ethical people out on the street.
Most people come into this job thinking that they have to be the ones who fix everything.
The general public does not see the atrocities, the blood, the gore, the different things that we encounter on a daily basis.
We don't want people to see when we're broken. So it makes it difficult for us to reach out. It's difficult for us to admit that we're the ones that need the help.
Compared to the general population, first responder suicides are much higher than citizen suicides.
It can be directly tied to alcoholism. A huge percentage of law enforcement officers that have taken their own life were either under the influence of alcohol at the time or had alcoholism in their history.
A lot of departments will offer employee assistance programs. They're very good programs, and officers should take advantage of them. Very often, they don't.
Operation Shattered Stars is independent, trusted source, so that officers and their families can come to us in their time of need and know that what they share with us is going to be confidential and held confidential to help promote them to be proactive in their mental health. In 2014, because when I was going through my post-traumatic stress disorder related to law enforcement, I realized back then there weren't too many organizations that were out there that assisted law enforcement members and their families, along with any first responders. I did feel like I was the only one. There's hundreds and thousands of police officers currently working while silently suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and they're trying to handle it on their own.
I think the fact that there's so much we do solo affects how we're going to handle situations where we need help. I think that's part of the police culture that plays a role in why police officers sometimes didn't get help when they needed to.
This is not a Northern Illinois problem, it's not an Illinois problem, it's a nationwide problem.
I find that officers know when they have a problem and they want to get help. Unfortunately, they're afraid to reach out. At Operation Shattered Stars, fortunately, we have trained peer supporters that are available and specially trained to help anonymously.
My role with Operation Shattered Stars is to provide confidential peer support and resources to fellow officers. I saw careers that could have been saved if somebody would have spoke to somebody else in the business. And I saw that there were some officers that started to disconnect and distance themselves and eventually just left law enforcement. And they were good officers. We lost experience, we lost some really good officers because there wasn't that peer support.
I'm certainly not a counselor, but through some training and talking about it with fellow colleagues, talking about it with family has helped myself and has helped my family.
We get called when it's a person's worst day. Even a doctor or a psychologist, I don't think, can fully understand what that's like unless they've been in that situation themselves. You need to have a healthy outlet, and this is one of those outlets that you can call 24 hours a day. Find somebody to talk to, even if it's just, a low-key, just, hey, this kind of happened, I wanted to get this off my chest.
The one thing I want officers to know about Shattered Stars is there's no hidden agenda. It's anonymous, it's a non-for-profit, it's there for officers by officers.
We can provide them with an officer who, let's say, is up north in Rockford or down south in the Urbana-Champaign area. And this way it keeps the confidentiality a little bit more a priority for them.
The clinical role is important for Operation Shattered Stars because sometimes there are clinical needs that come through, i.e. suicidal behaviors or substance abuse issues, and myself and Jada offer them the opportunities to have those questions answered, provide them with a lot of resources they may not have known existed or may not know that they qualify for.
Peer supporters go through a 2 consecutive 8-hour day training block. One important factor would be they actually do peer support, peer-to-peer contact within that class.
If we're feeling something isn't right with us, we need to know that we can reach out to Operation Shattered Stars. If we are feeling hopelessness, if we're feeling anxiety, if we're frustrated, if we're short-tempered, if we have reoccurring dreams, if we have that one call that we just can't get out of our mind, it's at those times when we really need to look to Operation Shattered Stars for that peer-to-peer support, the confidential support, to know that we can talk to somebody who's experienced what we're going through right now.
I think it's important for officers to know about peer support and use it even when things are going well in their life, so that it's not more overwhelming when things are not going well and they've already established a connection with us. They know our phone number, they know our website, and they know how to reach us when needed.
When law enforcement officers want to reach out for help, they can do so anonymously, and they don't have to worry about the ramifications it might have on their job or losing their job.
There's several ways that anybody can contact Operation Shattered Stars. A lot of it is word of mouth. We are a trusted, independent, confidential resource for them to utilize, whether they're active or they're retired. Another way is we have a toll-free number, which is 1-844-50-SUPPORT, that officers can contact or a member of their family can contact. We will respond to them within 24 hours. Either myself, the clinical director, or clinical consultant will respond to them. And the third way that they can contact us is our website at www.operationshatteredstars.org.
You're worried about yourself, you're worried about another officer. Make the call, send the email, so that we can be there for you.
We took an oath to help our community, total strangers, people we've never met before. We need to start helping each other. And Operations Shattered Stars provides that peer-to-peer support.